What's business? Want to go to Pierre Debbas, who can rescue us from all of this, because Pierre follows the housing industry better than anyone I know, and he was talking about the backup at interest rates and how that could play into maybe a rush for people looking to buy homes to do so now while the times are looking good. That does seem to be the case with the latest housing starts numbers, even permits numbers, coming in stronger than expected and continuing to advance to multi-year highs. So, Pierre, what's going on there? Do you buy this? Is this just a rush to take advantage of rates before they go still higher? What?
Yeah, Neil, I mean, the first quarter of this year is indicative of the fact that there was a huge rush of demand for everybody wanting to get into the housing market, given the fear of rates going up significantly and us potentially never seeing the two. That heightened anxiety has driven a tremendous amount of demand, which has kept up pricing, albeit rates have gone up, 100 to 200 basis points in the last 9 months. So what you said is completely spot on for the first quarter of the year, which is concluded. The question is going to be, what's the second quarter going to look like, given the fact that all these rate locks are coming up for expiration and new deals are going to be locked in at what we're now seeing, a 5+% 30-year fixed rate.
Sometimes a good barometer, I don't know how accurate it is, but something I look at is home builders and how confident they are to see the good times keep rolling. And that's been dipping, in the latest month dipped yet again. And I'm wondering, not that it's always an accurate reflection of what ultimately occurs, but that they're sort of pulling in their shingles, so to speak. What do you think?
I think that what's keeping pricing high, especially given where rates are today, is the lack of supply. So you would think that home building would be something that people would be rushing to do, given the opportunity and the continued strong demand for housing. But I think more so than maybe developers being bearish in terms of the future of the housing market is the supply chain and labor issues that we've encountered. I think it's become extraordinarily difficult to create housing supply given the parameters that we're living in. I mean, any industry in town is struggling, to find people in the labor markets. Imagine developers where the income level is the income level that was enjoying the enhanced unemployment benefits for a significant period of time, and now we're stuck in a labor shortage across the board, let alone housing. So I think that's really why you're seeing a dip in permits for single-family homes, not given a negative outlook on the future of the housing market.
Then what do you see happening in the hot housing markets? Florida comes to mind, where they've been seeing double-digit increases. It's been carrying over even up to now, the latest figures available. The idea that it's looking a little frothy there, I don't see it like the housing boom we had more than a decade ago, where people were buying property sight unseen and flipping them and all make money. I don't see that, but how do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely don't have the reckless behavior we had, 14 years ago. That's without question. The demand in areas like Florida, you would imagine, would have to slow down. Florida and Texas had the highest growth of new residents enter their states in 2020 and 2021. And largely due to the fact that there's no state or city income tax, and you can make the argument how they handle the pandemic and remaining open during a time where other states had, severe lockdowns. So you would imagine that demand in those areas would slow down as time goes on. But that's to be seen in terms of how long the ruckus that was caused by COVID and created the pandemonium in the market continues for. I'll tell you, Neil, one thing I'm seeing is the ripple effect on the rental market. Multifamily development and demand for rentals is at an all-time high. So you had not only the highest appreciation of housing in any given year take place last year, but you're also having historic levels of rental increases, given the fact that people can't afford to buy. And that trend is going to continue. And does that trend continue pushing people to lower tax states and still giving them the idea that they can relocate, given the fact that they're, priced out of the housing market? We'll see.
All right, watching it closely. Pierre Debbas, great catching up with you. Romer Debbas, managing partner. Pierre Debbas, uncanny read of what's happening in housing right now.